Everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at Fin Fang Foom for Marvel United. I'm going through all the Marvel United stuff, just a few sets left, and now we're getting down to the silly sets. This is the silly set. The next two I'm talking about are actually pretty big deal. But this is Fin Fang Foom, who is a giant dragon who is sort of sentient sometimes in the comics. Sometimes he's just a monster. Sometimes he's a big deal. Sometimes he's not. It's kind of funny they just threw him in. They just want to throw in a giant miniature. So he's a bad guy, a villain in his own box, a dragon, and he is also can be added into other games. Here's how it plays. So one thing you can do is you can fight Fin Fang Foom as the enemy. Let's take a look at this miniature. It's a very large miniature. The wings come separately, and you really got to push them hard to get them into the back of the dragon, but they're not going to fall out very easily, which is good. But this is what he looks like. All right. So he has two master plan decks. He has Dormant and Awake. And what happens is you need to put him under pressure, and then the Dormant deck goes away, and the Awake deck comes in. Now, these are small decks. The Dormant deck is 6 cards. So there's two things. One, you better move quickly to get that. But two, he always starts with the Valley of the Sleeping Dragon in play, where you can discard a card and turn a henchman into a civilian there to delay the next villain turn by a card. So you have 6, 7, 8 turns, maybe before he becomes awake. Then when he comes awake, you need to take him out. His locations here, his threats, he can't take damage as long as there's civilians, and 3 of them. And then the other 3, he just ignores the damage. He's very, very basic in that regard. His Dormant, he's not going to move. He's just going to sit there and add people to every location, henchmen or civilians. Once he becomes awake, he's much more dangerous. He's going to move around and just attack people, or just move around to the next location and hit those spots. When he gets there, he's going to do 2 damage to that person's location, and then 1 into another location. He hits 2 heroes, and then each hero in an adjacent location. And overflows aren't particularly great. So this is basically, he's a pretty basic enemy if you think about it. It's just that he has these 2 forms of being dormant and awake. The game also comes with the Fin Fang Foom Challenge, which has a card here, and also a whole set of rules basically just about this. But you can insert him. You're just going to take his dormant, awake threat card and replace one of the villain's threat cards, or at least one of the villains you're allowed to use. There's a bunch that cannot be used in this regard. Anyway, he's dormant here. When there's 3 crisis tokens here, you're going to flip it. Anytime anyone ends their turn, their hero or villain, we add a crisis or an adjacent one, and pretty soon he just wakes up and he runs around doing loads of damage to people. So like I said, you can add this to lots of other villains, just basically as a roving henchman. Yeah, so this one's fine for me. I'd give this a 7 out of 10. On a whole, you have to really like Fin Fang Foom, which I don't know many people out there other than Mike DeLisio. Here's the thing, though. As a villain, I really like him. I really like him as just a singular villain. I'm giving a 7 to the product as a whole. I wouldn't go out and buy this single product. Although this is, typical. CMON has a dragon expansion for all their stuff, so why not have one for Marvel United? But when I rank all the villains at some point in Marvel United, this one will rank highly because I don't think he's particularly complicated, but he's also fun. You want to try to take him out as quickly as you can. What you want to do is you want to take him out as much as you can while he's dormant, and then go for the gut. Go for him and take him out. But then he becomes a rampaging beast. You want to have a couple fighters on the team or people who can deal some damage. As to adding him into other campaigns, maybe. It's just like you can add the Sentinels in and stuff. I don't know. That feels like complexity. There would have to be a reason for it. Maybe I'm playing Dormammu and I'm like, also Dormammu brought in Fin Fang Foom. Or there's just not a lot of reasons I would see that being brought in. I don't think this is one that everyone needs to have. This is like if you're picking things from Marvel United, this would probably be on the lower totem. But as a villain, he's pretty fun. Anyway, there you go. I'm Tom Vasel. We'll see you next time. everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you like this review or whatever you just watched, wasn't it amazing? Check out our channel, Dice Tower. We have all kinds of things. We review games, we do top 10s, we play games live. It's all about board games, but especially the people who play them. Check out Dice Tower YouTube channel.